Hello and welcome to episode 28 of the Universally Epic Podcast, your go-to Universal Orlando trip planning podcast. I'm Jim Klein, along with Taylor Franklin. We are your hosts and travel agents for all things Universal. On today's show, happy Epic Universe Week, everybody. Universal will be live streaming the grand opening event tonight. Also, we get into how long is too long to stand in line for an attraction, and we discuss our underrated attractions at Universal Orlando Resort. How are you this week, Taylor?
I'm so tired. It's been a week, and my non-magical job um, has been draining me. Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
it happens, man. Yeah, and then tonight we're on Monday. We're recording on Monday at 10 o'clock at night, so
yeah,
that doesn't help either.
that's okay.
Um, so speaking of that, so we're recording on Monday.
Mhm.
This week is the big week that we've been waiting for, right? Epic Universe officially opens its doors on May 22nd, which is Thursday, which is the day after this comes out. But also the day that this does come out, on Wednesday, is they're going to be live streaming a huge celebration to open up the park. And it seems like it's going to be a massive, massive event. There's what they call a blue carpet instead of a red carpet at
Yeah.
6 o'clock. And it seems like you can go on universalorlando.com, I believe. And that's where you can live stream it from. I was kind of clicking the links before.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, it should be cool to check out. Like, I'm definitely gonna check it out. So we'll see how it goes. We know
Definitely.
Holly's gonna be there, right? She had mentioned that to us,
She
so that's kind of cool.
is. So hopefully
Yeah,
we'll get like the rundown when she gets back.
yeah, that would be very cool to touch base with her. Um,
She's like our agent on the ground in Orlando,
right?
so
Oh, I should live down there. Like, what? It's so much easier to talk to her
yeah.
about everything. So yeah, so this is it. Like, we started this podcast back 28 episodes ago. What is that? I don't even know. Divide by 4, 7 months ago. Like,
I think I think the first episode happened a little bit after I got back from Universal in October. And I went at the end of October. So I think it started in like the second week in November.
yeah. And then when was your first? What episode
Mine
were you first on?
episode 3?
3, right? And then you
Yeah, cuz I talked
reoccurred
about Cabana Bay.
5. Yeah. It was like, hey, guess what? You're just gonna do this with me all the time. So
Yeah,
no,
cuz I just kept coming back.
yeah, it's great. Like, it's been really fun actually. So
It feels
it's been
kind
a
of
good
like
run.
a bit of a milestone, right? That like
Yeah,
our
yeah,
podcast started for Epic, and now Epic is, I mean, at the time of recording this, we're 4 days out from it, and that's just it's
yeah.
crazy.
That's it. Yeah, it's crazy. It is wild. Like, this is what we were just like building up towards. So I guess we're done with the podcast. So this will be our last episode. No, just
Yikes! Sorry, guys. Hate to break it to you this way.
nah. It's gonna be exciting to see how it goes moving forward, um, especially with what's been going on down in the parks during the preview. Now there's been some ups and some downs during this preview period, and the latest is not the greatest sight. Like a week before opening.
Yeah.
Try not to be as negative on here, but it's a bad look. They dropped the virtual queue for Harry Potter and the Ministry at the Magic, or whatever. I messed that line up, but
I
Battle of the Ministry at the Ministry, Battle at the Ministry.
think it's Battle at the
Um,
Ministry.
yeah, so they dropped the virtual queue. Now everybody was complaining about the virtual queue, right? So everybody's like, get rid of the virtual queue, get rid of the virtual queue, right? They get rid of the virtual queue, and man, the line is just
I think I saw 400 minutes was a posted
you saw
wait time at one
400.
point.
The longest I saw was 300, which is like 5 hours,
Yeah.
which is crazy. But 400 is even worse. Like, obviously, like
Hmm.
that's insane. That's your whole park day. Now I know this is technical previews, like we all know that.
Hmm.
However, when we started talking about Epic Universe, and what is it going to be like on like the first day, and we're like, what they don't want are these really long lines. Like that's what the
Yeah.
headlines are going to be, because I feel like up until this point they have been so good about everything. They've done everything right, and I think we've said this on the podcast,
Yeah.
where it's like everything has been going so well for them, and then a week out they drop the virtual queue, and now it's 5 hour waits, and
Yeah.
they even like shut down the show so they can run the queue through the show. That was getting huge reviews, like massive reviews on how great that
Yeah.
show is, and now you see people wandering through there in a queue. It's so crazy to me, and it just stinks, like, because yes, virtual queues are not fun, like they're not a fun thing, but this is the alternative that doesn't sit really well with a lot of people, and
Yeah.
it's disheartening if you're going and you're like, oh, I want to get on Harry Potter, the new Harry Potter ride, and it's 5 hour wait. Like it stinks, and I'm not. It's not their fault at this point. It's just, everybody wants to get on it, but this is what it's like when you're
Well,
opening a park like that,
to
right?
spread
So
a little bit of, I guess, a theory that I have is that they took away virtual queue to be like, do you guys want to do this instead? Because this is what happens
oh,
instead.
that's a good point. That is a good point
And
because
they're stress testing the park, and that's what they've been doing in this lead up, in this ramp up to Epic.
mm,
They're stress testing the park, and if they're seeing things like a 400-minute posted wait time,
yeah, yeah. So yeah,
there's just no way that's not viable.
there's no way that could be possible, right? And then what's the alternative? Like, how do they fix that? Right? Go back to the virtual queue? I
Virtual
guess
queue,
so, right? It's got to be.
yeah.
It's got to be. So maybe
At
they're
least
just
for the
using this
first
time.
6 months.
Maybe
Honestly,
they
at
have
least
to
for the
update
six
the
months.
virtual queue system, because we were already saying like how there was like glitches in the system and stuff. So
Yeah.
maybe they're working on that on the back end, and hopefully, like when they actually open up on Thursday,
Hmm.
it'll be, you know, it'll be all set. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's and it's just plastered over all of social media. Like just as much as they've had such good like social media presence in the
Hmm.
past like few months, like this one is just the same way. It's just plastered everywhere, and it just stinks. I feel so bad because like it just everybody feels so down in the dumps. Like, oh, and then you see the comments, and it's like, oh my goodness, like this is not what they wanted to have happen a week ago.
Yeah.
It,
And
it could
like, while
go
I
other.
understand that people on the internet and everything are gonna feel however they feel while they're sitting at home, um, and you know, having this conversation or argument or slander, um, while they're sitting there, and that's fine. But for the people that have experienced the virtual queue and now have unfortunately either looked at that wait time and been like, you know what, no,
Yeah,
walked
yeah, you're
away.
right. Yeah, you're
Um,
right.
it's definitely the first big misstep that we've seen Epic take, and I'm hoping that maybe they're either fixing the virtual queue, that's why they had to take it down, or my own theory, which is crazy and would be an insane
Yeah,
thing to do, but it's like the parent thing, right? You're a
yeah,
parent
yeah,
where you're
yeah,
like, oh, okay, you want to do this thing? Let me show you.
yeah,
And then
exactly.
they do the thing and they're like, wow, I really hated that.
Yeah, that's
And they
not
go,
good.
"Hmm,
Yeah, because we are in the technical preview still, so like that's
yeah,
something to be said. Not defending it in any way, but I'm
no,
just saying like it is. They're playing around with the park right now, and we've seen it in multiple areas of the park. So
right.
hopefully, but okay. So here's my question to you is: what is the longest wait that you've ever stood in for? Because I have one.
I
So
have one.
you have one? Okay, yeah, we all do, right? So I'd love to hear how long it was and what was the ride, what was the attraction.
So I don't remember.
Doesn't have to be at Universal because mine is at Disney.
Mine's at Disney also.
Okay.
So I don't remember the exact wait time. Um, but I do remember that when so I lived in California. I'm originally from California. We used to go to Disneyland and Universal Studios Hollywood all the time. For my ninth birthday and my little brother's sixth birthday, we went to Disneyland. And that year happened to be the year that Finding Nemo opened. And my little brother was obsessed with Finding Nemo. So my mom was like, "Oh, this is perfect. We're doing this for his birthday." And I was like, because we're walking up to this line and I'm seeing it not only out of the ride queue, like past the like wait time signs, but like wrapped around the like there's like a lake thing. It's like wrapped around the lake and it like snaked back a couple of times. When we went in, it was probably 3 o'clock. We closed the park in that line.
God,
And
that
my mother
is
would not let us leave.
that's crazy.
Yeah. This was after she forced me on the Tower of Terror also, so I was already very upset with her. But
Oh my God,
yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah.
So how long do you think that line was?
God, it had to be
That's
like 5 or 6 hours.
that's great. So mine is not that long. No, not that long. Oh my God, that is crazy.
Yeah.
Did he like the ride?
No.
Oh God.
Unpopular opinion, maybe. I don't know. I've heard a lot of people say really nice things about Finding Nemo. That ride's so boring.
That's
And maybe I was jaded because I had just stood in line for 6 hours.
bad. Well, I don't know how it could be worth it at that point, you know?
It wasn't.
Um,
And my little brother
yeah.
got to sleep in the stroller the whole time because he was 6.
Oh my God.
So he was fine.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's a long time for Nemo. Yeah, that's whew. All right. So mine is at Walt Disney World, Hollywood Studios. So the date was I actually looked it up real quick. It was May 20th, 2011. Okay. It was the reopening of Star Tours.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
When they put like the like 3D aspect into it and like so we were just excited to go. So I went down with my family and my wife was we stayed I think we stayed at Old Key West in like one of those like 2 bedroom villas or whatever.
Okay.
And we went down with my brother. So my older brother, he's handicapped, right? So he is he's such a huge Star Wars fan, okay? And he wanted to go on this ride like the whole week it was leading up to this day. It was a Friday. I remember this and it was boiling hot outside. It was so hot and he was so excited. Now, my wife, she was pregnant. So, yes, she was pregnant with my daughter at the time, our first
Uh,
kid. And we got up early and we went to the park.
okay.
We This was the craziest day at Hollywood Studios ever. So, I didn't realize, like I didn't know about like how crazy people can be,
Uh-huh.
right, with Star Wars. I had no idea. Like I just thought people were fans, but not like to the extent that I just was going to witness. Now there's huge screens set up all around the park. And I'm like, man, this is weird, right? Everybody's dressed up in Star Wars. Everything, cosplay, everything. Okay?
Kind of
Then
sick.
we're waiting online, and like I said, screens everywhere. And I'm like, what are with the screens? So there was an opening ceremony for this thing, and George Lucas was in the park,
Oh my god.
right?
Oh my
And he did a
god.
speech, and he's on all these screens all over the park. It
Uh-huh.
was wild. Okay, that was the cool part. The bad part was we waited 3.5 hours in the heat. My wife was pregnant. Probably not the best idea in
Was
the
she
world.
okay?
She was good. She's good. My daughter's fine too. Like she's 13 now. So,
Oh yeah, I guess I probably should ask if your kid was okay.
so yeah. So, and my brother loved it. Like he loved it. He thought it was the greatest thing ever. I
I'm
was like, we
glad.
should not have waited 3.5 hours for that. However,
I love
he
Star Tours, but three
yeah,
hours is a lot.
yeah. So that was my long wait, and it was so ridiculously hot that day, and I
Ugh,
felt so bad. I felt bad for my wife because she was just dying. I
I
was
feel
like,
bad for your wife in
yeah,
hindsight.
yeah, bad. But yeah, we literally went on that and like left. I think we left after that. Like we were
I would
done
have
for the
too.
day. It's so bad. So that was my,
That's
but that was
terrible.
3.5 hours. I don't know if I could wait any longer than that. Like that's a long time.
Well, so imagine being my parents for 6 hours with an angry 9 year old, an
Yeah.
angry 10-year old, and a sleeping 6 year old.
Nope.
I don't know
Nope.
how they didn't kill us. Genuinely. I don't know how
Yeah.
they didn't drown me in the
No.
lake.
Yeah. Yeah. You're probably right. Like I would never do that with my kids. Like I would, especially that age. Oh my god! Like I I barely go on any lines that are like an hour long. Like an hour is like my max. Is like when I see an hour wait, I'm like, that's a tough one. But like I get depending if the queue is indoors or outdoors and how hot it is. You know what I mean? And
Except
if
for the
it's like
Hagrid's queue. That queue is terrible and most of it's inside. It's so hot in there.
yeah, it's not and yeah, it's not very
It is
well.
not well ventilated.
Yeah,
It is so hot in there.
no.
Did I
Yeah,
wait 2 hours to ride it? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I did.
There's certain rides, Velocicoaster, I would stand in line for over an hour. Hagrid's, yes. Um, actually, for Forbidden Journey, I would actually stand in over an hour. I love that ride so much.
Actually, I
Um,
wouldn't mind. As long as I was in the inside part of it, I wouldn't mind
yeah,
because then I can just look at all of the things on the walls because it's really cool in there.
yeah. And Gringotts, forget about it. Like as long as you're inside, like I'm cool
Yeah,
waiting.
I'm good.
Like whatever. I love that ride,
Yeah.
that queue. So yeah, so that's yeah. So I wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything I'd wait over 2 hours for at Universal. I
Eh,
don't. It's just so much time. There's so much other things that you can do in that 2 hours that it's
yeah.
hard to like designate 2 hours of your time. If you're there for a longer stay as well, like I could see waiting a while. Like
Hmm.
if you're there 5, 6 days, like for a whole week, and you have like 5 or 6 park days, and you want to chew up like 2, 3 hours on a line, like I can see that a little bit. But if you're there like real quick, like maybe 3 days in the parks, and you're
Yeah.
trying to hit everything, like it's not possible.
Especially for something as new as Epic.
Yeah, well, Epic, yeah, and you know, they were saying that Epic Universe, like in terms of rides, it doesn't have all that many. Like I think it has the
Yeah.
same amount as Animal Kingdom over
Hmm.
in Disney. I think it's like 11 attractions. So that's where
That makes sense.
you know. And but what are the? I haven't seen much during this whole like 5 hour wait thing. What are the other rides like? Right? Like are they?
Well, so Super
Yeah, like
Nintendo World experienced something similar to your George Lucas thing because Miyamoto was in the park today.
get out of here! Really?
Yeah, and
That's
don't worry, they made sure Donkey Kong was up and running because
oh,
Donkey Kong has been having a lot of issues also. But he was there. And for the people that know or for people who don't know, Miyamoto is the father of that entire franchise. So Mario, Luigi, Donkey Kong, Yoshi, all of them. So for him to be there, Zelda, for him to be
that's
there is like a big deal because he's Japanese. So
mhm.
he came from Japan
Yeah, it's
to
very
be
cool.
in the park today, and people were like taking pictures, and some people were like, "Who is this guy, and why is everybody so excited about him?" And then other people were like, "Oh my God, Miyamoto's 5 feet away from me."
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's all
it's really
very cool.
cool. But I didn't really see any other crazy wait times. I forgot to check, and normally I do just because I can.
Yeah, like
Um,
I didn't even think that to look at it because you would think that the other rides then would be a little bit less, like because half the park is going to be
yeah,
like is in Ministry of Magic. Like I don't see how everything else is like that crowded then at that point, but I
yeah.
don't know. So all right, let's move on. we'll
Okay.
move on to our underrated attractions at Universal.
So it's
Obviously,
really just Jim and Taylor's list of rides that nobody ever goes on.
yeah, basically the rides that we like and nobody. I do have a couple honorable mentions
Okay.
on mine that aren't actual rides. The Universally Epic Podcast is brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel, a Universal you preferred travel agency. If you're looking to plan your next Universal Orlando vacation, let's do it together. As certified Universal specialists, we can help guide you through the planning process with helpful tips and tricks along the way. The best part, all our travel planning services are free to you.
When you book your Universal Orlando vacation with us, you qualify for an exclusive booking bonus offer from the Magic for Less Travel, a $25 Universal gift card for all vacation packages over $2,500. Ready to start planning? Email the podcast at universallyepicpodcast@gmail.com and start planning your next epic Universal vacation today.
So we'll get to that. No, yeah, yeah. I have
How
two
many
that
do
aren't really.
how many do you have? Are we just going to go back and forth?
Yeah, just go back and forth. Like
Because we're
that's all.
both very bad at counting.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. No. No. Yeah. I can't do any more of these countdowns. And then I skip you, and then I was watching that. I was like, oh man, I missed. I was editing that. And I was like, oh yeah, I did. I skipped her. Yeah, that's
I was just like,
because
yeah.
I can't counting down because there's like 5-10 minutes in between countdowns, so I can't remember like where we're at.
Oh
So,
boy. All
all
right.
right,
Well, I'll
you
let
go.
you go first.
Oh, okay, I'll go first. Fine. Okay, I'm gonna start with an easy one.
Okay.
And for people that go to Universal or love Universal, this is not underrated. Okay, so however, newer people going to Universal, okay, I would think that ET is one of those underrated rides for people that are not in the know, like, or have been going to Universal for years,
It
right?
also suffers from the fact that it's tucked all the way back in the corner. Now,
Yeah,
it does have a shiny new sign, so people do know that it's there now, but before that sign was there, it was kind of like if you didn't know ET was there, you probably were going to miss it.
and I think it's suffering from like a generational gap.
Oh, yeah,
I think because
definitely.
like my kids don't know what ET is. They love the ride. They did. They loved it. They
They don't
loved
know
the
what
queue.
ET is?
Yeah. Well, no, because I didn't never watched it with them. Like I don't watch ET all the time. Like what do you mean? Like I watched it as a kid. That's the last time I ever saw it. Like I don't, you know what I mean? But I think most people I think might overlook that ride. Um, and
Yeah,
I think that it should be it's a must do no matter what.
yeah.
And I think that and you can just see it with the like the wait times. The wait times are not very long for
Mhm.
the ride for most part. So like that's why I think I'm putting that in the underrated area is because the wait times don't really get that high up there. So I'm assuming that most people just don't go anymore.
Yeah.
So
They're like high in the morning because all the kids are there, and then like as the day progresses, it's like 20 minutes.
yeah, like I'll wait 20 minutes for ET every day.
I'd wait quite some time just to stand in the
Yeah,
forest because it's very
it is.
pretty.
Yeah, it is very cool. All right. So what's your first one?
Okay. Which one do I want to put here? My first one is actually the Jurassic Park River Adventure. Now, I have said many I don't like water rides. I don't like to get wet. I don't like water rides. However, there is such a charm about the Jurassic Park River Adventure, and nobody's ever over there.
I love it. I love that ride. I think it's great.
In
Yeah, and
the
you're right.
past like 4 years that I've been going like regularly to Universal, I don't think I've ever seen that wait time get anywhere over like 25, 30 minutes, maybe.
It's funny because at Universal, like the water rides are the wait times are super low on all of those. Like they never get high at all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna piggyback on that because mine is a water ride and it's Dudley Do Rides, and I absolutely love that ride so much. And that's another one that's like pretty much nobody's going on it most of the time. Like a lot of logs are going down that drop with nobody on them.
Yeah,
But
I
I
actually
think
don't think I've seen anybody ever ride that ride. My friends claim to have ridden the ride, but I didn't go with them, so I can't
I
confirm
love
that.
it's such an old school ride, and I absolutely enjoy it 100%. But it's tough to get on there because you get soaked. Like there is no doubt about it. You are getting drenched coming off of that thing. So, and that's why I think that's the main reason why people don't go on it. I guess, right? Because it's it stinks
I
getting.
lost a bet, so I have to ride it when we go in October.
It's so much fun. It's a great ride. It really is. I love it. It's such a good ride. Um, yeah. So
I'm gonna cry.
that's my water ride that I feel is underrated, and
Fair.
I love it. So what's your next one?
My next one is Cat in the Hat. Now,
Nah, I got one. I got that too. I have that
Cat
on.
in the Hat. I love Cat in the Hat. I convinced all of my friends to get on Cat in the Hat. So it was like 8 20-something-year-olds taking up like 3 cars in Cat in the Hat, and we all had a great time. Now, I know that ride is suffering. Oh boy, is it suffering. I know that. I know that. I know that half the time the animatronics don't work. And I know that the whole thing kind of feels like a fever dream. I know. But I love Cat in the Hat so
I agree.
much.
I agree 100%. I love it. It's classic dark ride.
It's so
Classic
good.
like just yeah. It's a good like
It's
get
so
out of
good.
the heat and enjoy a ride. Like I
Yeah.
like it. I love
And I
it.
like never see anybody over there because they're all stuck in the line for the high in the sky trolley at their 8 minute wait over there. And I'm
Well,
like, ooh, walk on for Cat in the Hat.
that's I think we mentioned this the last time when we started talking about underrated, and it's the trolley ride is just a long wait, and it is definitely if you put it into perspective for most guests, like they're not going to wait that long on it.
Mhm.
But if you like we said the last episode, like when we started talking about what we should do for the next episode, we were like, oh, the trolley in the sky is like one of the most underrated rides, and it's because people don't really think that it's like good enough for adults to go on, right? Like it seems like it's just a super kiddie ride to most people,
Yeah,
but the views that you get on that trolley ride is amazing. Like I love that ride too. Like
it's
that's
great.
another one. It's if you get a chance to go on. When we went, we walked onto that actually. It was great. Like I don't know how I timed it right, but it was perfect. So that's another underrated one. But yeah, that whole Dr. Seuss area, I feel is just super underrated. I enjoy everything on there, like in that area. Um, so I kind of piggybacked on yours, but like, let's see, what do I have? What else do I have here? Um, okay, so my next one's a roller coaster, and when you talk about like the big roller coasters at Universal, this one doesn't really get mentioned all that much.
Okay.
And it's the Mummy. Like I
It
think
is
the
the
Mummy
movie.
gets overshadowed by every other roller coaster, and it's such a great ride. It's a great
Yeah.
ride. It's fun. It's thrilling. I just and it doesn't get put in the same conversation as all the other ones, and I feel like it should pretty much have it should be up there on a lot of people's lists, but it's just not.
I think that it suffers quite a bit from being a dark roller coaster because a lot of people really don't like dark roller coasters. A lot of the fear behind roller coasters and everything like that comes from the unknown. So when you
Hmm.
take away every sense
You're
from
right.
you and sight is one of the biggest ones, right? That's why people complain about sight lines all the time and stuff like that. Because sight is a big deal for a lot of people, and the fact that you can't see anything on that ride other than things that are like moving fast, and you can tell you're moving fast, but like you're actually really not going that fast. You're going fast, but like you're not really going that fast. And then it's got the backwards thing, and people just like they
Yeah.
don't they don't like that.
Yeah.
But I love
Yeah.
the Mummy. I think
Yeah.
it's
It's great.
very fun.
Great. So, what's your next one?
My next one, I'm thinking, because I
I'm
was
down.
gonna say ET.
I'm down to my two honorable mentions. So if you don't have anything else, like I will.
Actually, I do. I
Okay.
do have one. And maybe this is controversial, or maybe this is my own skewed opinion. Um, Men in Black.
Okay. So I was gonna put that on there, but I thought that most people like that ride. Like, but I'm not
People
sure.
like the ride, but it's like a, oh yeah, I like Men in Black. Like no one's ever really like excited to go on Men in Black except for Noah, who is out there. That's why I'm pointing that way. Noah and his mother are always so excited for
I
Men in Black.
I love those type of rides. I really
Me
do.
too.
Like the arcade style rides
Hmm.
are so much fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, and you're right because I think it's a great ride, and I think it's, and you're right. Like people
But like
don't
I
get
never
excited.
see the
Like,
wait time super long,
no,
like ever.
no, I don't think so either. But yeah, no, I'll agree with that. Like I think because I love it so much, I just didn't think it was underrated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I had an issue with that being in my list also because I was like, well, enough people like Men in Black, but like, eh.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get that. Um, so I'm down to my honorable mentions because they're not really attraction. Oh no, I have one. Okay. Well, they're all not rides. I'll just
Okay.
list them here. First, the Jurassic Park Discovery Center is super underrated because my kids absolutely had a blast in there. Uh, and my son loves dinosaurs too, so like
Mhm.
that helps. They do this fun little thing. Like there's a lot of interactive things in there. There's this one little thing where they take your picture basically, and like you're going through these like this different stations as you go, and then they put your face on a dinosaur, and it's always awful, like looking like
I
you look
love that.
so bad, and it's so funny. We had such a fun time just going through it, and was like, and mine was just, that was the biggest laugh because it was just like my stupid face, like on a dinosaur. It looked awful. It looked so
That's
bad.
so funny.
It
I
looked
didn't even know
so
that was a thing.
yeah. It was so much fun. Yeah. So like they were in there while I went on Velocicoaster, and so like they were having the time of their life. So that's one of them. My other honorable mention is we spoke about it last week was the Talking Fountain. I definitely spent a few minutes there because like
Love the
most people
talking.
just walk right through that area.
Hmm.
Um, and we talked about it last week. Like the thing just interacts with you, and it's funny, and they have some good jokes, and it's something that most people just walk by. So definitely check that out.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
like I said, my friends spent 15 minutes talking to the thing, and they were like riffing. They were telling jokes, like they've known this person their whole life. It was like a whole thing, and I just like I sat next to the boutique right there, and I was just like watching them interact with the statue, and they were like I swear that if this was like a movie, it would be like from my perspective, and I would see them like become little kids again and like laughing with each other. It was very sweet. It was very wholesome.
that's awesome. Yeah, that's great. Um, and then my last one, and I always forget that this is here, and like it's not really an attraction. It's not even like really underrated. I just kind of wanted to throw it in there because like everybody forgets about it that
Okay.
it's there. But the piece of the Berlin Wall that's there, like behind the Hard Rock Cafe.
Oh yeah.
So like nobody ever remembers that, and like it's a big piece of history that's
Yeah.
just randomly put there. So like it's kind of cool to go and check out, but nobody really knows that it's there
Yeah.
unless you like read something online. So like that was one of my like it shouldn't be like really underrated, but it's like you really don't know about this unless you know, you know? So
Yeah.
you could walk right past Hard Rock and not even think to go around the back and see this thing. So and that's it. Those were my honorable mentions. So unless you have something else,
What's an underrated restaurant at Universal Studios?
I have a little quarrel with the restaurants there, like because I felt like City Walk was like okay, so I didn't go to any of the nicer restaurants to be honest with you.
Okay.
We went to Toothsome's, we went to NBC Grill,
Okay.
and we went to Margaritaville for like a midday like drink and apps. All right.
Love Margaritaville.
Actually, Margaritaville was the best one out of all of them. even though we waited like forever. There was nobody in the place, and like we waited forever for our food, and then like
Oh
half the food came
no.
out, and then we had to wait like another half an hour for the other half of the food. Whatever. Like it's frustrating. Um, especially when you have a restaurant background like me. Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's frustrating. Um, NBC Grill was a very cool atmosphere. Um, the food was just not great.
I've
Maybe I had
heard
the
the
wrong,
food's not very good.
like my sandwich is super dry. I had like some barbecue sandwich, and it was like really dry.
Dry
And then
barbecue?
yeah, it was yeah. I don't know.
That's so unfortunate.
It was really bad. I love the atmosphere though. Like the open kitchen was cool. The TVs everywhere were cool. Like
Hmm.
everything about it's cool. It's just like the food wasn't great, you know.
Yeah.
And then Toothsomes, we're talking about underrated. Like I think that might be the most overrated place I've ever been. Like, not that it was bad. Like I'm not saying it was bad, but
Hmm.
I think I was expecting more because everybody hypes it up so much.
Yeah.
Um, and that was another one of those like I actually made reservations like for that one,
Uh-huh.
and I still I think I waited an hour after my reservation time. So like that puts a bad taste in your mouth going into
Oh,
dinner, you know?
yeah.
So like that kind of stinks. And I don't want to like be crapping on all the restaurants, but like it's just, a reservation is meant to be kept,
Yeah,
you know?
reservation's a reservation.
Yeah. It's
Um,
like that old Seinfeld bit, right?
yeah.
Um so that one the food was okay. It was just
I
like
felt similarly when we
yeah, it
went.
was
The food was
okay. Like
okay. The milkshakes were great, but that's like their
yeah,
main thing.
yes. And I guess that's what you go there for, right?
Yeah.
Like I had the chocolate bread. All right, whatever. Like, it is what it is. Like,
Whatever.
I don't know what to say about that. Like, chocolate. No, it's not that good. Like, it's not great. Um, I had like a pork chop. It was okay. Like not bad. Like I ate it. I eat everything though. So like whatever. Like I'm not gonna not eat. Um, but yeah, like underrated restaurant.
Mhm.
Minions Cafe is the most underrated restaurant there is.
No, I agree.
It's
This was
it's not.
honestly just an excuse to talk about Minion Cafe.
It's obviously the best restaurant that I've been to at Universal in a theme park. And like, okay, Mythos, I have not tried you yet, but I know you were like best restaurant in 2001, 2002, 2003. I got it. So the sun. All right. But
Yeah, all
I do agree
45
Mythos
signs they
because
have
like
outside.
Mythos does look good. Like whenever I see a video on them,
Yeah.
like it does look good. Like, and I think the atmosphere in there is really cool. So, but yeah, Minions Cafe by far is definitely the most underrated place.
Well,
And I
because
think
people see the Minions and they go,
they think kids food. I think
yeah.
that's what it is. I think it's like, oh, this is just going to be like chicken fingers and fries, and it's nowhere near
It's
that.
got such an eclectic mix of food that's
Yeah,
like, yeah, sure, I guess I'm eating that in a theme
yeah.
park right now.
Like I said, I had tomato soup, and it was delicious. Like it was like the best soup I've ever had. It was so good. Um, and those minion potato things
They
are
get me
so
every
good.
time. I love the
Oh my
Minion
goodness.
potatoes.
Yeah. No, that restaurant is great. And I think we're going to be talking about Minions Cafe probably either on the next episode or we're I think one of our next episodes coming up is going to be like character dining at Universal, like
Yes.
where we can add character dining.
Hmm.
And I am so excited for that one
I'm
because
taking you on such a trip, Jim. You're going to
yeah,
love it.
it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. So that's something to look forward to in the coming weeks. Um, yeah, so I think we can wrap this one up.
I think
Epic
so too.
Universe opens this Thursday, which is tomorrow when this comes out.
Yeah.
Um, they're going to live stream the
Mm.
grand opening celebration
I
on
do believe
Wednesday.
I do believe the recording will still be on Peacock afterwards.
Okay,
I
that's
think
good
I
to know.
read that somewhere, but I also please don't quote me on that.
All right, it'll be plastered all over social media too, so
Yeah.
it'll be clipped up and put out. So that's cool. All right, so let's wrap this up. Where can they find us? We're on TikTok and YouTube for the most part.
Uh-huh.
We go live on TikTok either Sundays or Mondays. Um, we are
Spotify,
traveling. Oh yes, Spotify. Yes, Spotify.
Apple
Okay,
Podcasts.
yeah, I must have set something up, and like we're on like Spotify, Apple Podcast, Beancast, or Podbean or something like that. Yeah, I put out like RSS links to like all these things. And like, I was looking at it the other day, and I'm like, oh wow, look, we have like 15% of our listeners are on like I think it's Podbean. I'm like, I never even heard of that. Like, I don't know how I set that up.
Know
I
what that is
think
at
it's the
all.
whole Spotify thing that I go through. So like, that was kind of cool.
Huh.
Um, yeah. So thanks, like Podbean listeners. Like, that's
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Thanks to
Um,
the people that we didn't know about. We really appreciate
yeah,
that you're here.
yeah, very cool. Um, we're travel agents with the Magic for Less Travel.
Uh huh.
We got to mention that. We almost missed that last week. You actually reminded me. Um, oh, here's something that we haven't brought up in a while, right? So we work for the Magic for Less Travel,
We do.
and how much does it cost to use us as travel agents?
We're free.
Hey,
Absolutely free.
absolutely free. Like, you guys have been enjoying our content. Reach out to us. How can they reach out to us? Do you remember the email address?
Yes.
Okay,
Universally epic podcast at gmail.com.
you nailed it. Okay, so reach out to us at University of
And
Podcast.
you can and it'll be a fun little roulette on like who answers it first.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. We'll see who gets there. And that's it. So enjoy your week,
That's it.
everybody. And like always, have an epic week.
Happy epic week.
Happy epic week, everybody. Good job, Taylor. Way to go.
Bye,
Take care,
guys.
All right. On today's show, epic. Oh my god. Oh my god. Let's just stop for a second here. This is just so bad right now.
Take a moment. Breathe.
On today's show, happy epic. Oh my god. Okay. I just got so mush mouth there.
It's okay.
All right,
It's like 10 o'clock at night.
that's late. All right. On today's show, happy Epic Universe Week. Universal will be live streaming the grand opening event tonight ahead of the grand opening of Epic Universe. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
That was a weird sentence.
That was a weird sentence.